All right, let's talk about wood ash. You know, if you've got a fireplace or a wood stove, you've probably stared at that pile of gray fluff and thought, hey, free fertilizer. And you're not wrong. Gardeners have been using it for ages. It's packed with potassium. But here's the twist. What if that garden gold is actually a secret plant killer?
It's a really confusing question, right? It drives so many gardeners crazy. You think you're doing everything right, adding a natural organic supplement, and suddenly your garden is just dying. So what's the deal? Why can this free stuff be so incredibly destructive?
I mean, just look at this description. It's a scene that it's tragically common. A gardener spreads some ash, thinking they're giving their plants a boost. But a few days later, this is what they find. Scorched leaves, flowers dropping off, yellowing plants, even if the soil is perfectly moist. It is a heartbreaking failure, and today, we're going to get to the bottom of exactly why this happens.
To solve this mystery, we have to look at what I'm calling the chemical dark side of wood ash. 'Cause see, it's not just a simple pile of minerals. Oh no, it is a powerful chemical compound with a hidden weapon that most people just don't know about.
And that weapon, it all comes down to this one number, 13.5. That is the potential pH when you mix wood ash with water. Now, to put that into perspective, neutral soil is a 7. And you have to remember, the pH scale isn't like a ruler, it's logarithmic. That means each number is 10 times more alkaline than the one before it. So 13.5 isn't just a little alkaline, it's crazy, off-the-charts caustic. Way beyond what almost any plant can survive.
And if you're still not convinced how extreme that is, look at this. A pH of 13 is right up there with industrial-strength toilet cleaner. So yeah, when you're sprinkling raw wood ash on your garden, it's kind of like you're pouring a harsh chemical cleaner right on the delicate roots of your plants. Of course they're going to go into shock.
This crazy alkalinity hits your plants with a devastating 1-2 punch. First, you've got osmotic shock. The super high salt content in the ash literally sucks the water out of the plant's roots. The plant is dying of thirst, even in wet soil. But then, and this is the real killer, you get nutrient lockout. The high pH chemically changes the nutrients in the soil, like iron and phosphorus, locking them up into solid forms the plant just can't absorb. So get this, your plant is simultaneously dehydrating and starving to death, right in the middle of your beautiful garden.
But okay, hold on. Don't you dare throw that wood ash away. There's good news. We can totally neutralize this stuff. With a little bit of simple kitchen chemistry, we can tame the ash and turn it from a poison into an amazing, safe super fertilizer.
And you don't need some fancy science lab to do it. All you need are 3 things you almost definitely have right now. Some of that clean wood ash, regular tap water, and some plain old white vinegar. That is literally it. So here's the magic recipe. It's super simple. First, dissolve about 50 grams of ash, that's, a couple of heaping tablespoons, into about 5 liters of water. Give it a good stir. Next, you're going to slowly pour in 100 milliliters of white vinegar. You'll see it start to fizz and bubble right away. Just let it do its thing. Once all the bubbling completely stops, that's it. Your solution is now pH balanced and totally safe to feed your plants. So what is that fizzing and bubbling all about? Well, that's the sound of science. The acid in the vinegar is having a little party with the harsh, caustic stuff in the ash. That reaction releases harmless carbon dioxide gas, that's the bubbles, and it neutralizes that dangerously high pH. Even better, it unlocks all those great minerals and makes them water-soluble so your plants can actually drink them up.
Okay, so now you've brewed up your first batch of safe, super potassium fertilizer. The big question is, where do you use it? Because using it on the right plants is just as important as making it the right way. So let's check out a quick guide to see which plants are going to love you for it and which ones you still need to keep it away from.
Think of this chart as your cheat sheet. Over on the right, you've got the fans, plants that really benefit from that potassium boost and slightly more alkaline soil. We're talking cabbage, broccoli, beans, asparagus. They'll thank you for it. In the middle, you have the plants that can handle it, but you got to be careful. Things like tomatoes and peppers. And then on the left, this is the most important column, the plants that absolutely hate wood ash, no matter what. Let's really focus on this group for a second. These are your acid lovers. For plants like blueberries, azaleas, rhododendrons, their entire biology is built for acidic soil. If you raise the pH, even with our safe treated solution, you're going to cause them major stress and lock out their nutrients. For these guys, wood ash is always a poison, never a fertilizer. Period.
And here's a weird one, potatoes. Now, they don't need super acidic soil like blueberries, but making their soil too alkaline creates the perfect breeding ground for a nasty disease called potato scab. It's a bacterial infection that makes your potatoes all rough and scabby, pretty unappetizing. So with potatoes, it's not just about nutrients, it's about accidentally rolling out the red carpet for disease.
Okay, before you run out to the garden with your new fertilizer, let's just wrap up with 3 life or death rules. Seriously, getting these wrong can ruin all your hard work. So these are the absolute must-know takeaways from all this. Rule number 1, never, ever mix wood ash, even the treated kind, with nitrogen fertilizers like urea. The high pH causes a chemical reaction that turns the nitrogen into toxic ammonia gas. It will literally burn your plant's leaves. You're not just wasting money on fertilizer, you're actively creating a poison. Rule 2, as we've said, never use it on acid-loving plants. And rule number 3, and this is so important, only use ash from clean, untreated wood. Ash from painted lumber, treated wood, or particle board is loaded with arsenic, lead, and other heavy metals that will permanently poison your soil.
So, the bottom line is, we just need to think about wood ash differently. It's not just some harmless leftover waste. It's a really potent chemical. Using it raw and just tossing it around isn't some wholesome organic trick. It can be an act of ecological destruction for your soil.
At the end of the day, your garden is a living, breathing laboratory, not a garbage can. It responds to everything you put in it. So now you've got the knowledge. What are you going to do next? Are you going to go test your soil's pH so you know what you're working with? Or are you going to grab that vinegar and brew up your first batch of safe, liquid gold for your plants? The power to garden smarter is officially in your hands.